Welcome to Her Standards with me, Queen Tambori. Thank you yet again for joining us for this exciting show that you look forward to every week. Remember, we are the one-stop shop for women you need to know. We connect you directly to women that you need to know, the female role models. But apart from that, we also discuss issues objectively. Now, one thing that we were very keen on, even before elections, was to highlight the stories of women politicians. And we did. And of course, after elections, one of the elections in Kenya that was held to be peaceful and also fundamental in the sense that Kenyans were able to elect more female leaders during the August 9th, 2022 elections. On one aspect, we had winners, but on the other aspect, we also had women who gave in their best shot, but unfortunately, they did not make it. They were not elected. Needless to say that they are not losers, but of course they are winners, even for having the courage to put up the show and also to show up in terms of leadership and political space in this country. On this particular episode of Her Standards, I am joined by some of those women who have organized themselves into an organization known as KWOLA. KWOLA simply stands for Kenya Women Leaders Political Association. And I'm here with two of the members, but of course I also have a live audience who will be able to meet later on in the show. We just want to take a look at the elections of 2022, the political space when it comes to women participation. What are some of the challenges they went through? And of course, in 5 years' time, what opportunities are available for these women politicians? I'm very, very excited to host them. I have here with me Dr. Julia, who we actually hosted before elections. I'm very excited that she's here to give us feedback of what went down. And then, of course, went up or down. Very interesting. And also from Bomet County, I am joined by Chebaibai. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Not Chebaibai.
Chebaibai.
Chebaibai. Chebaibai is the immediate MCA aspirant for Mutarakwa Ward, and that is in Bomet County. Dr. Julia contested for the Member of Parliament position in Kangema constituency. I have a heavyweight panel today, and this is just one aspect of it. On the other side, we also have very powerful women. Karibuni.
Thank you, Quinta.
It's good to have you back again, Julia, and welcome Nancy. Jisikie nyumbani. This is our show. Tunasemanga Her Standards ni ya wanawake.
Yes.
This is where we let our hair down. This is where we express our frustrations.
Yes.
Lakini mwisho wa siku, this is the place where we also come up with solutions that can impact our lives.
True.
Elections iliendaje?
Thank you so much, Quinta, for having me here. And our viewers who are watching us across the country. My name is Julia Chege from Kangema constituency. I vied for Member of Parliament Kangema. And it was an election.
Yes.
And you know, an election is a competition.
Yes.
And when you are competing, you are not enemies. So I remember we had a talk, and I don't want to go back to that previous talk, but there were very, very, very many challenges. I represent a group of, even my voters. Yeah. They voted me about 5,547 votes. And for that very reason, I will still go back one day.
You're going back?
One day.
One day.
Yes. Right now, we are not in politics. We will go back in politics 2027 June, to be precise, so that we give an opportunity to the ones who are elected a chance to be able to work. So I got very mixed reactions and mixed challenges. Personally, of course, I was vying among men, and it was not very easy. Yeah. They had a lot of money. And I didn't have that kind of money. At one point, it became physical. I actually thought I would be arrested because my team fought with their team, and some even were hospitalized. But it never came to the news, so that's water under the bridge. Nobody can actually castigate me on that. Yeah. So that's it. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two, being a woman. You are people will look at you as a woman and deal with you with your womanhood. And the first question everybody will be asking, are you married? Those are questions just to humiliate women and to bring you down. Even sexual harassment, we experience that, you know. You go for a meeting, and some people, it's like they want to scratch your hand or your back or your or whatever they want, you know. And when you come, you are smartly dressed, they, hey, unakam super. Instead of seeing a leader in you, they are saying, I'm super. And that is a form of sexual harassment, as far as I'm concerned, you know. It's actually gender-based violence. So those challenges, and I find women, sometimes you meet with men and they want to touch your cheek, or that's sexual harassment, you know. How on earth can you try and do that to a man? He will slap you, you know. So women went through challenges, and I am part of the women group that actually vied, and we won differently. I don't want to say that we lost.
You know,
we won differently because we won experience. We won. We got to know the challenges that are associated with women leadership. I am telling you, our women are wounded and they are suffering. And what I want to encourage all the women that we vied, that dust yourself and shake yourself and dress up and show up. You know, don't stay at home. Don't be in the house. No, urudi kwa soko. Go back to the market. And the market that I want now our women to go back to now is not political market. Now you have a profession that you are doing. You know, I am a scholar in water sector, women leadership and wash. So I am writing on that. I am writing my book. I am attending such seminars. I go for chamas, you know. Don't be at home, because the moment you're at home and you remember like how much we used, you know, if I don't know whether I can tell you how much I used.
It's okay.
Between 2018 and 2022, on 9th of August, by the time we are casting the vote, I had used about 18 million. And I lost.
How many? That's a period of
about 4 years. I was doing activities and all that. But I was doing that because I knew I had the end goal. And of course, we were left with debts of paying agents. When we finished the election period and I realized this is a done and all that, of course, I felt very bad. And I was asking myself, all these meetings I used to go, and they have 200 people, 500, 600, 1,000. You know, I had very many people who are coming. Where are the votes?
Where did the votes go to?
Where did the votes go? But I thought now it's time to move on, because that is the kind of our jiko we have. There was a challenge when women were campaigning. Our people are very hungry at the moment, and even that time. And what they wanted is food. And therefore, maybe they never even got to know my name. They just got to know the 100 bob or the 200 bob I gave. Because they were like, mnapatiwa gapi this side, wanakibia that side, 200. Mnapatiwa gapi this side. And they were even refusing to work. Literally, people were not working during campaign, because they knew they would go to Che bye-bye, 200. They come to Judea, 200. They come to Quinta, 200. By the end of the day, they have 600. Right now, I am telling them on a national TV, campaigns are over. And they are over until 2027. So it was an experience.
It was an experience.
Today I am a stronger woman.
You're wiser.
I'm wiser. And next time there is no money campaign. We shall do a gender campaign. And I know our president, because he has taken a country that is already having a lot of challenges, and we are going to support him in all aspects. And as a scholar, personally, I will support the ministers that are there in a scholarly view. From a gender perspective, I will be able to give a scholarly intervention. So our president, I know he is hardworking. He's gonna make these reforms work. We are experiencing hunger. We need food. So how he deal with that? In fact, he promised 50% of the seats. We are still on him. He has to make sure. That 50%. First of all, is to congratulate him. He has given about 7 nominees of the CSs, but we still know that he promised 50%. And now that one brings us to the last question that I need to let you know. When we are campaigning, let us promise people what we can.
Let me ask you, Nancy.
Yes.
What does Chibaibai mean?
Oh,
Msichana mzuri.
Chibaibai means someone happy.
Oh.
full of life. As you can see, I'm a happy girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ulipofika nyumbani, when you got home and you told them now, your family or your friends or your community, and told them now things did not go as planned.
Okay.
How was that moment?
Yeah. First and foremost, let me say thank you first, Quinta.
Yeah.
And let me also get to introduce myself.
Yes, please, yes.
For the audience who may not have
Who might not know you,
me.
yes.
Otherwise, my name is Nancy Rono. Chebaibai is aka Chebaibai. That is my name since childhood. And I come from Bomet County. I went into politics and I was trying my hand in politics for Mutarakwa ward. I wanted to be an MCA. And when I went there, people I'm someone who was born and brought up in Nairobi. Yeah. I work here in Nairobi, but I thought maybe if I go back home, that is where my people are, and that is what I have seen the gaps that are missing. I would go with my expertise and go and help them. So when I got home and I said I want to get into politics, I was well received by others. Others did not like me because I'm a foreigner according to them, and I'm a new person according to them. I wasn't born and brought up, that's what they say. And, they look at me, they have not seen such a big V8. Actually, they gave me the name of V8. So I went to Bomet because that is my original home. That is where I come from. And when I went and I decided that I'm going for an MCA, many came out and asked me, are you sure you've gone for the right position, for the right seat? And I told everyone who cared to listen and who wanted to know why I was going for that particular seat, I told them, mtu huanzia mti kupanda chini. You start from down. One, I am still new here. Two, I need to learn the terrain about the whole area. So if I say I'm going to a bigger seat, like let's say women rep or an MP, it means that I have to camp all the county, which was a bit going to be a challenge to me. So I decided, let me go for this small MCA seat, which I know I was born here. So many people here do know me, and they know my family name. They know my family background. Yes, I did. Mine is not exceptional from Julia. What Julia went is just as what I went. It's only that the difference is she was going for an MP, I was going for an MCA. But whatever she went through, all the challenges, the money involved, it doesn't matter whether you are an MCA, a governor, or what Wanjiku wants, at the end of the day, is money.
What does that make you feel
they say, give us,
leader?
Wanasema, iyo yetu.
Oh.
I don't know whether
Iyo
yetu,
Iyo
it is
yetu.
theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't have that, you are as good as, we don't want to hear even your manifesto. As much as you have good ideas. My ideas, my manifesto was perfect. I was taking to the village what I have learned in Nairobi, what I have learned in the city, what I have seen, and what I have, if you are brought up in one cocoon, you will always know that it's only your mother who knows how to cook. But if you go out and interact with other people, you get ideas. You get to learn their culture. You get to learn what can I do for these people. How do these people work? Why are Kikuyu successful? Why are these other tribes successful? You get to learn. And now I thought I was going to take it back to the village, to my people, so that at least we can build a strong foundation. Where you have money, you have everything, power, purchasing power. But I was so wrong. As my friend here has just said, you go to a meeting, you find the hall is like 500 people, 200 people. You meet people. Today, in a day, you spend money. In a day, you go round places. And then you are like, it's just a walkover in the park. You think, all these 200
are going to vote for me.
They are going to vote for me.
Yeah.
You go to churches, she says, they tell you, in this church, the former or the sitting or so and so was the one we prayed for. And is the one, when we prayed for that person, he took over the seat.
And they tell that to every candidate.
Of course.
Over and over.
Over and over. What I'm told in Bomet is what in Kisii, the person in Kisii will be told, or the person in Murang'a like Julia was told. You will be told, you are the first candidate to come here in this village. We have not seen any other. And since you are the first one, ama mnasemaje wananchi? That's what they say.
Yes.
So you really go with a lot of confidence that I have captured that village.
Yes.
And especially for me, being that I wasn't someone from, staying in the village so much, I thought, wow, God has given me favor. I'm going to, and of course you have given money. You are seeing these people, they're like around 200. So you just tell your agent, weka karibu 20,000, and then you go out to these people. So they just want money from you. When you live there, Julia comes. She's told, by now the agent, the other agent tells this one, Chebaibai was just here, and you know how much she gave out? 100 or 50 bob. So do makeup yako yende juu kidogo. So you see, it is like a bargaining power. Yeah. So you because you are my
is not bargaining.
So since you want to win, more than Chebaibai. What do? How much did Chebaibai give? 1,000 for a rambe. I'm giving you 3,000. Remember, how many arambes are you going to go in a day? In a day, the least arambes I think you could go was 5. That is the least. Kuna matanga, kuna ya hospitali, kuna ya kanisa, kuna ya watoto kurudi shule, na harusi na kuna ya harusi.
Sickness.
Dowries.
Kuna dowry pia.
Yeah.
I didn't do for dowry. I think our people, they don't ask that, but you ya harusi, you ya pre-wedding. Yeah, that one is there.
Ulifanya. Would you do it again?
I would still do it again if given time. But
What will you do differently? Yeah.
I would do it differently. I was thinking, that's what when I was going around. You find these people, they know mheshimiwa anakuja kupita leo barabara. Nobody in that village will go to the shamba. As early as 6, they are on the road. Nobody. How will you eradicate poverty if people do not wake up to go to the shamba? They are out there to wait for waheshimiwa. I think the way the government should set up, I think if I was to be asked, a commission, it could be something like, a commission of politics. What do we call? It's a body going to govern how much we are supposed to use. Even though the other time they had said, this is the limit we are using. But nobody took that seriously. Yeah. But I think we should have a body whereby it is going to control every candidate who is going to go on the field. So that we put sense into our people that it is not about the money that you get from these people. It's about the ideas. It's about the manifesto that these people are coming to give you. I may have a lot of money. I can come with money. I give you. But tomorrow when I go back, I forget about you. Nikikutana na nyinyi nawaambia, sinilinunua hii kazi. What do you want from me? Yet, nimenunua hiyo kazi. For sure, I've given you 200 shillings. 200 shillings with this current situation. Is it going to buy anything? It won't. It is just for that particular time. We need to put sense into our people. We need to teach them how to fish, but not how to get a fish every morning.
Yes.
That fish is going to get finished. Get to learn. And so surprisingly, you will even find the elites, people ambao wamesoma, even them, like they are waiting for that 200. You will shanga, this is a teacher, this is someone he works in the dispensary, he works in hospital, and he's expecting that. So we need to remove that mentality and tell people, huwezi kukula kama hujafanya kazi.
Yes.
Work first, and then you eat. Otherwise, the experience that I got, the money that I spend, is just the same as Mheshimiwa Julia has just said. And I believe even all these other Mheshimiwas, they are in agreement with that. So we really need to have a way that we can come out as leaders. Because, all these ladies you are seeing here, they came out because they have something very special in them. Okay. They want to help that mwananchi down there. But that mwananchi down there, doesn't understand why this lady, anaona huyu akona pesa inamsumbua, wacha kuja fanya nini, tukule. Even if I did not make it to the parliament or to the county assembly, we are all still leaders. We still have something that we can offer to this community. We are not supposed to be forgotten. That is that is why I'm saying, if there is something that they can do, like a board, so that when these people who lose, because I don't think we are more than even a million. We are not even a million leaders. We are not even 500,000. And there are, how many millions of Kenyans are we? But you can see how many people who came out to ask for leadership. Both men, women, and the youth, and the disabled. We are very few. We are not supposed to be forgotten.
True.
The government is supposed to do something that, if you saw Chebaibai, what did you see which was good in her? Did you read about her manifesto? What good did she have? And my manifesto could have something that is good that you might have forgotten out. Can we combine now that now you are in the parliament and see how are we going to help our people? Because our whole intention going to that parliament or going for leadership was to help that Mwananchi who is down there. So my prayer is that something better should come. I know our president is a handsman. He's a hand-on man. And he's a worker. And I like him because he sees far. And he has promised that he's going to work with Mama Mboga. He's going to work with everyone. Even as I know he's going to take care of women, just the way he promised. And he has already done that. I know he may not have met the 50% he had promised, but the 2/3 gender in parliament, especially for the CSS, I believe he has met. I know there are still many opportunities, and the government is big. That is what he kept saying to us when he was campaigning. There are many opportunities that all these women can be fixed, you know, and we develop our country. We shall help him to govern this country, and also for him to be successful and to become a leader, whereby he needs to watasema alifanya kazi ile alikuwa amesema.
Thank you so much. I want to cross over to the floor. Who has the mic? Who's holding the mic? Anyone can take the mic. Anyone can take the mic. And the first question I want to post on the floor is this. Before, it's okay, you will introduce yourself and then you tell us which position you are running for. A bit of experience. I know when I tell politicians, kidogo, 5 minutes is like 20 minutes. So you'll bear with us. A bit of your experience. And then, of course, I want to know, when you are going into elections, many of us, we go in to win. Were you ever prepared to lose? Okay? Yes.
My name is Amran Wardere. I vied for Member of National Assembly, Mandera County, in a place called Lafay constituency. Actually, I am the first woman to vie for an MP in the history of Mandera County.
Wow.
Yeah. It has never happened because, as you know, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Somali, and I am from a very patriarchal community. In a Somali culture, women are not allowed to join leadership. They actually don't even support women empowerment and women leadership. So, and we have so many ladies who are educated, who are smart, who are intelligent, who have these leadership skills and everything, but they are afraid to even try. So I said, okay, if I feel like I can be a good leader, why not try?
Yeah.
You know, despite the fact that I knew at the back of my mind, I won't get that support, you know, because it's something new to them. And then there's this thing called negotiated democracy.
Yes.
It really, that is the thing that, you know, works there. Elders will come together, sit down, decide who will lead. Whether you are educated or not, whether you're a young man or not, they don't care. At the end of the day, if they say, I want Quinta to, you know, be the next leader, that's what will happen. And you cannot say no. So I was called for that negotiated democracy thing, December 2021. People, you know, the meeting was like for 3 days, discussing, like we were 5 aspirants. Actually, no, that time we were 9 aspirants, 8 guys and me.
Girl.
So at the end of the 3-day session, 4 guys dropped. They were told to drop. And four other men and me, we remained.
You survived?
Yes. No, they came to me.
Okay.
Tried all means of manipulation.
Okay.
Said that I'm a woman, I cannot lead. Say that I'm a young, lady. I still have a lot of time ahead of me. Say that they can even pay me, that how much money do you want to just drop this thing? Chukua pesa, wachana na hii kitu. Wacha kutusumbua. But them, they were using money, but I had the agenda. I had a good manifesto. So basically my experience, I was, as you said, I was already prepared psychologically for a win or a lose. Because I knew this is the first thing, this is something that I'm trying for the first time. And again, in a place that is not even known. They don't support women leadership. They've never seen a woman standing in front of, men and talking and addressing, elders. It was a shock to them. So I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. At the end of the day, I've got nothing to lose. So, and the other thing, I think we are all the same when it comes to financial, challenges. All those, advances, glances, people asking you, like, are you married? Why are you not married? How much money you can give us? Like, unakuja kwa meeting and everyone's like, oh, you're pretty. That's the only thing they always see in a woman. The tendency of sexually objectifying women.
Yeah.
When we go somewhere, men always see like we're just objects, to satisfy whatever that, I don't know, you see. So those are the challenges, but I thank God because I traveled a road that is less traveled. I made an impact. I made sure that I go to the ballot, come what may. Whether I get or lose. Going to the ballot itself was a win for me.
Yeah.
It was a win for all those young girls who were looking up to me.
Yeah.
And I really made a good impact. Because now, when I see those girls, they are like, okay, Amran, you really opened our eyes. Because we never knew. Kuna msichana anaweza jitokeza, aseme anataka kuingia siasa. We are passionate about leadership. And maybe 2027, I believe I'll be seeing so many young ladies trying this leadership position from my society or from my community. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can give the mic. Please introduce yourself, Mami. Then on top of your experience, I would also like to know, why is marital status and, marital status, having many children, number of children, why is it?
Why is it important?
Why is it important, particularly for women in politics?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Lynette Olema Akedi. I vied as an MP Bondo constituency. The question that you have asked about marital status is because the patriarchal society that we are living in. By the way, in Bondo constituency, no woman has stood and has been elected as an MP. Even now, we were not elected. When I started, they kept saying, this seat is too big for a woman. You go for a woman rep. And that was said over and over again. And now to make it worse, I am a widow. So it even made it worse. So as Chebaibai had said, we are leaders in our own capacities. We have different gifts. And even before we vied, like me, I had been involved with a lot of NGO work. I gave tanks, I gave pads, I gave mosquito nets, a lot of things. But I think they were just saying, how will a woman be an MP? That is a very big issue.
You introduce yourself and please briefly give us your experience.
I'll be very brief. Okay, Taslin Otieno. I vied in Homa Bay County. That is in Kwabuai Ward. I wanted to be an MCA. So I'm an MCA candidate. And my journey was very experienced. It was amazing. I really loved everything, even my challenges. I love them all. One of my biggest challenge was that I'm Amigogo. Amigogo is a woman who's born in a certain community. So you are not allowed to lead there. You're supposed to get married off somewhere and maybe try leadership there, but not where you're born. So that was a very big challenge for me. You talk to people, and then when it gets to Q&A, because for MCA seats you get to talk to intimate groups. So when it comes to the Q&A session, they ask you, but what if you what if you win and then you go with our money? What are we going to do? So these are the things that they're asking you, and then they're asking you, do you have kids? And if you tell them no, they say, so what's your source of responsibility? That means that you're not a responsible person. I mean, we are hearing you, you're giving us good, your manifesto is good, but then you're not married. You are Amigogo, So those are the things that they were telling me. And then also finance.
What did you tell them?
Okay, for Migogo, I had a way of telling them, because as she has said, we have like 3 members of parliament, women who are women in my county. So I would refer to them, would say, Mabona, Amini Mabona, she's doing amazing. And she's a Migogo like me, by the way. We have Lillian Gogo. She's not a Migogo, but she's doing amazing work in her constituency. So those are the things that I was telling them. And then maybe when they were telling me that I would go with their money, I would tell them that we even have Kisis who are teaching here. But do they run away when you pay them the salary? Do they not teach your children? So you always had a way of addressing each and every issue. And then the other issue that I haven't heard anyone talk about is security. If you don't have money, then you don't have security. I was the only lady in a group of 10 candidates. And those other men had the opportunity of campaigning at night, abusing other candidates, but I wouldn't dare. I would campaign only from 8 to 6. Actually, my mom gave me a timetable and a deadline. Ukifika hapa after 6, ujue sasa hapo pia umenikosea. Because it was so unsafe. People were attacking each other. People were killing each other. And I used to work with 3 people. What were they going to protect me? Or how are they going to do it? So I had to be timely at home. And it is an issue that has to be addressed. They said that the police would provide security for us, but it's not practical as at now. You have to provide your own security. And if you have people working with guns, people working with pangas, and then your guy anangoja kutafuta mawe mkiwa attacked, you start seeing things differently. Would I do politics again? Yes. In 4 years, I'm going back in a bigger way.
Now, again, we don't want this to be a whining show. We went to elections, we followed the process, we were elected or not, and now we are here. We have 5 years. My next speaker, we have said we have challenges to deal with finances. Many of you have talked about financial challenges. Many of you have talked about patriarchy, cyberbullying, sexual harassment, insecurity. We have 5 years. What are we planning to do, not just as yourself, but as Kewola? What are we planning to do within the 5 years to ensure that come 2027 June, come June 2027, we will be the ones at the top. We will clinch those positions that we are vying for.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Njeri Karanja. I've been a professional and a career woman for very many years. Then one night I just had this Martin Luther moment, and I thought I can create a revolution. Because I was thinking it's actually time for Kenya to have clean leadership. Because I was looking around and I was saying, out of all the leaders we have in the political space, who can I say can be my mentor or a role model? Who can I say I can bring up my kid and say, look up to somebody? So I thought maybe it's time for clean people to come out. And so in my alpha ambitiousness, I said I was that person. So I resigned from my job. I was working in a bank, and it was a good position. And I said, I'm going to do it. You were asking, what is the first reaction of the people around you when you actually make such a big decision? You are leaving a good job. The job I was doing, thankfully I was here in the previous session. I was used to be the person who hosts webinars for ambassadors and embassies. So I've actually talked to a lot of embassies and ambassadors, but it was in terms of how do Kenyans abroad get to invest in the country. So that's what I was doing. So I left, and I decided I'm going to go and vie as a member of National Assembly in Thika Town constituency. And you can imagine, Thika Town constituency just being the backyard of Nairobi.
Nairobi, yes.
The and the political environment and the air is just going to be the chaos and the mess you see in Nairobi. And so for me, I was going to go through the cycles of being a woman, of being a youth, and also being just a common mwananchi. Who are you? This surname of yours, who are you? You know, like how the president keeps saying, you come to the table, but who are you? Yeah. So I was going to go through all those cycles, but I was very optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person naturally. So I just knew, immediately I come out, this is what people have been waiting for. You know, I was coming to the party late because I was going to do this in January 2022, and people have been campaigning for all those years. But don't forget, a lot of people, especially women, who come to the political space, have actually been doing a lot of community work. So I had been doing so much of girl child empowerment. I'm very passionate about women, and that's actually occupying space. So I had been doing a lot. And so, being a whole constituency, you may not have touched some areas, definitely. But even the areas you've touched, people just want you to see when you are caged somewhere. But when you come out in this, like you are being big, nobody wants to see that. So they'll start asking, who are you? So I went there, and I want to say thankfully, my reception in all the meetings I went were very good. But I want to tell you, there is a lot of trauma before and after, before election and after election, you know. I can tell you there's mental trauma, there's physical trauma, there's financial trauma, there's spiritual trauma, there's psychological trauma. There's all those before and after. Let's just face it. And that's why, as someone who was on the ballot, I strongly believe you need to take time to breathe in and out after election and find yourself. Because I'm going to tell you, on the night of 9th, if you don't win, you practically lose yourself. You don't know who you are anymore. I think for me, it was about, for very many years, I was used to be busy. Remember, I was used to wake up and go to a job by 7 a.m., and I have a busy day. Then I go into politics. I'm busy because, you know, you draw a schedule. You know, on this day, you are going to this area, you are meeting these people, you are doing this. You're busy. Then on the night of 9th, you don't know what to do. So suddenly you lose your identity. Who are you? Can you imagine waking up and you're wondering, you are showering? Okay, then.
Where am I going?
Yeah. So you actually lose yourself. And I'm really going to tell you, that has really affected me, because most of the days I would be like, I'm not even motivated to take a shower. I mean, to do what? To go where? I mean, you know, because I've spent so many years.
Were you angry at the voters?
Pardon?
Were you angry at the voters?
Let me tell you, you're not even angry at the voters. You're having a cocktail and a concoction of emotions. You don't even know what you are. You were angry at the voters, sympathetic and empathetic with the voters, seeing the choices they actually made. You're angry at yourself. You're empathetic with yourself. I mean, you don't know what you are, yeah? And so, I would like to tell you, those issues that have been mentioned, especially about the political conmanship. You know, those are just phrases we hear being thrown around, but until you experience it. And I'm going to tell you, I experienced political conmanship in so many phases, but I'll tell you 3. One is the Wanjiku conmanship. The other one is the pulpit conmanship. And the other one is the party conmanship. I don't know why women here are not talking, even about getting a political party certificate. I mean, let me tell you, going through a political party, apart from those who went as independent, and I want to tell you that's the best decision they made, just going as independent, that's the best decision you can ever make. Getting a political party certificate, especially the popular parties, that's a nightmare. That's the worst nightmare that you can ever go through. What I'm trying to say is that there are so many experiences, especially for women leaders to say, because we experience it as a woman and as a candidate. Remember, as men, they're going through it as a candidate. As a woman, you stand in front of people, the first thing people see is a woman. They don't see a candidate. The second thing they see, hiyo jina yako ya mwisho ni ya babako ama ni ya mzee. That's the second thing. You know, the other thing, na watoto uko na wangapi. So, you know, it is a cycle and a trauma which I can only say you can only know it after through experience.
Once you-
But what can we do?
Yes.
What can we do better? I think it's more of sensitization. More of sensitization and showing up. Show up until the world has nothing else to do apart from embrace and adjust. Because if we cower and say, this experience was not really that beautiful, I'm not going to do this anymore, then, and you have to remember, even voting, just to vote as a woman, there are women who fought for that. Just mere voting. Those women laid down their life to agitate for women to even vote. So also ask yourself, what can you lay down your life for another woman who is coming after your generation to do? So it is for us to know there's no stopping. We have 4 years. We are not politicking, but what we are going out there to do is to continue doing a lot of sensitization. Because remember, the statistics show most people are women and then youths. So can we start saying, those women, you know, a lot of women have good will. Lakini sasa, you are living in a patriarchal society where even in your house, mzee ndio kusema, akikohoa ulize ama ni maji anataka na umwambie pole sikusikia. So when you are coming into a space where you are being told to empower women, it's also a shocker to that other woman. So women are at no fault, even the ones that are not supporting women currently. You know, let's continue to do a lot of sensitization. Let's continue having the conversation. Let's continue showing up so that the more we show up, the more nobody can say, don't talk. The more nobody can say, stop talking. And also, something that I don't like talking about, but I have to mention it as I finish. As a woman, if you're coming to the political space, remember, all odds are against you. You come into political space, everybody wants to sleep with you. I mean, why are we getting uncomfortable with that conversation? Everybody wants to sleep with you. From the guards who are manning the political people around you, you know, they think, ndio ufikia mheshimiwa, you know, especially if you're going into it for the first time. Ndio ufikia mheshimiwa yule mwenye anafinya buttons. I mean, it's that way, you know. You go to the church, even there are clergy who are thinking, sasa tutakuonya. I mean, everybody's trying to hit on you. Everybody's trying to hit on you. So as a woman, you have to adjust to. You don't get angry about it anymore. Get angry, you are giving them the power. Smile it off. Show them it's not a big deal. But not with you. But what you are saying is not a big deal. So it's not hurting me. It's not personal. I don't mind you saying it. I mean, it's okay for you to say you want me, but I don't want you back. Yeah. So let's normalize as women taking our power to ourselves. Like when people say the only thing they see for a woman is what is below the belt. So 2 things. We take power back to ourselves. We show up for these next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Mheshimiwa has spoken on behalf of everyone. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, we can clap for her. She's spoken on behalf of everyone. Definitely we need a second part of this. We cannot, this is not a discussion in its finality. We'll create time and then we can have this discussion, because essentially we are looking for solutions. We have 5 years. So I'm very confident that the Madam Producer herself will create a forum for us where we can have more and more of these conversations to ensure that more women clinch those political seats come 2027. My panelists, I cannot even give you a minute to say a final word because I can see time has run out. Just say bye, and then we wind up. Let's say bye, Nancy.
As I say bye, we were supposed to talk about Kiwala.
Yes.
What is Kiwala?
Yeah.
I am the deputy organizing secretary of Kiwala. Kiwala is an organization of leaders, of women, who came together after they have the Kurai Kutosha. Atuku lose. Did we lose? So we have come together as leaders, we've come together as women, and we are inviting every woman outside there who feels like he wants to be part of us to join Kiwala. It's just a registration of 1,000, and we have all the opportunities, sourcing for employment, sourcing for business in the government, our voices to be heard. As she said, we need to do sensitization. Come 2027, we shall go back to the villages, we shall go back to the counties and sensitize the women down there, the people, our voters, about voting. rights. We need to have our rights. So every woman who is out there, know that there is an organization that cares. Don't die alone down there, thinking now I spend money. Who can even help me? We are here to share our experiences. She has talked so well. She has talked. Everybody has talked so well. We have our different experiences. Come and let us share our experiences. Our family, some of us, our children were like, now you've lost. You've used a lot of money. You've said you have sold the property, family properties, you know. But we still back to the family, and we are not going to end there. We are still going to go back, and we have not started politics. We are just coming together as women and to share our experiences.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much. Julia, bye.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah.
And my part in short is data doesn't lie. We had 16,000 people, women and men, who vied for this last election. It's only about 2,000 of women who reached the ballot.
Yeah.
We have 119 women, 119 MCA women elected, and from the previous to 2017, 91 of them. And Sigo constituencies, we have 29 of them.
Yeah.
And of course, women lep, it's a women's seat, so it will go to a woman. So that is obvious. And then we have a few senators, and we have now an increase of governors. One thing that I want to talk to the leaders who are elected, these women who came out and vied, they left their professions, and currently they are called political exposed persons. So I would like to urge our leaders to actually come out. There are very many groupings of women who vied and lost, and they are there. Come and assimilate them, because they had an agenda. And these are people like, for example, we have doctors, even amongst ourselves. So if we are talking about people who are unemployed in this country, we are talking of an elite group of unemployed persons. And therefore, I want to urge our president that he may assimilate us in his government, be it in boards, be it in advisory. The political cake is very big. And lastly, women, as we go to the next general election, because we shall be there. We shall be there irrespective of the challenges that we have gone through. Start preparing now, join a group and start saving, or however you want to start doing it. Start networking, get NGOs that are going to work with you, and make sure that you're on the ground. Even if you're not politicking, but make sure you are on the ground. And one of the ways to be able to participate in politics, even without doing anything, is through public participation. They're advertising them on national newspapers. Kindly make sure you do your proposal, even if it's half a page. And if you're not able to do that, please come to us. That our work is to write. We can be able to actually write for you, and write it as you who has written, and you give your input, so that at least you are not redundant. My sister, I hear you. I know what it means. You know, when you're vying for a constituency seat, before you leave this ward, when you go to this other ward, they're like, ulienda wapi. When you go to the other ward, you go there, ulipotelea wapi. So either way, there is that conmanship that is allowed there. So women of Kenya, let us allies, let us speak in one voice. There are women who went before us, Akina Nyanjiro, who actually were killed for us because of women leadership. So let us stand up for something. I want to urge our women, let us be one another's keeper. I know it's a hard conversation to have, but I'm sure it can be done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Julia. That was the longest minute I have had my whole life. And of course, that makes us come to the end of this show today. We have been at Kofisi at 9 West in Westlands. Beautiful space. It's a co-working space that is based in Nairobi, but they also have 6 centers in Westlands, Riverside, Upper Hill, and Karen. And of course, they're also available in Lagos, Nigeria, and Dar es Salaam. For more information, please log on to kofisi.africa, and you'll be able to interact with some of the amazing services that they provide. Now, from us here at KTN Home, it is Kwaheri. As my panelists have said, women, we need to rise up to the occasion. Till next time, it's bye from us.
Thank you. Thank you.